The worst thing that happened to Southgate, and this is the worst thing, was Foden being named Premier League Player of the season.
No, this is the face of. This is one of the English faces of the Premier League. Like, he has to play.
Yeah.
Bro, if you're so limited that you can only work in a certain system with certain players around you.
I hate Havertz more than I hate the devil, but I would take Havertz over Phil Foden. Because I specifically made time out today for Phil Foden. I specifically.
He's not lying.
Now, Phil Foden, this is the most overrated player that I've ever seen in my life, in my entire life. Bring that Foden and Beans. If I say we have name and shame. That's whose Avi is that? The one with Beans. Is that Foden on it?
Yeah,
This guy is atrocious. This guy is atrocious. And HH, I will call you to the fire as well because you keep saying that he's a good footballer. What is he good at? This is Kai Havertz Pro Max. What is he good at? What is all this? I started calling Kai Havertz a lesbian since this guy Foden is transgender. I don't know how. Like, bro, I was looking at the chat. Okay, one thing with analytics, never use it to show how good a player is, but it's always reliable in showing how bad a player is. Now, Foden, you are supposed to be the creative hub. You're supposed to be maestro or whatever. Kopama had more progressive passes than you in the tournament.
But the worst thing that happened to Southgate, and this is the worst thing, was Foden being named Premier League Player of the season. Because once that happened, branding, marketing, propaganda, you cannot bench the Premier League Player of the season. The Premier League Player of the season has to be one of the first names on the team sheets. That was always the issue. But then, as Wing is just alluding to, when you look deeper, Foden is reliant on the system. And Foden really isn't the best player for City. It's Rodri. That is City's most important player. I've been saying this
since day one. If you take Foden and put him in Chelsea, he'll be playing in Vitesse. Or what's the new one? Strasbourg or what? Because I don't know how to explain to people that, look, holding onto the ball and passing back does not mean control. Look, Foden will hold on to the ball, but you're controlling him. He has the ball, but you are controlling him because you can leave him. He's going to pass back. He's going to pass back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice is going to pass to Walker, or someone's going to lose possession. Like, I want to see, and I'm pretty sure there's a data out there because all these guys that do data, that when the pass gets to Foden, it just somehow comes backwards or sideways. I'm pretty sure there's a chart out there or some map that shows like that.
Yeah. He completes no forward passes.
Kane struggles, but believe me, part of why Bellingham, part of why Saka struggled was because of Foden. And I kept hearing he had one good half. That was not a good half of football. Hitting the post when you're in acres of space is not a good performance. Dude, no one was. I was like, wait, they're almost daring you to shoot it. You hit the post. That was your only contribution. You are a terrible player. In fact, for me to say this, I'll finish with this. For me to say this to show you how low I rate someone, I would take Kai Havertz over Phil Foden.
Yo.
That's not.
I don't know about that.
Wait, AJ, can I speak on this?
You're forgetting Wing is a Havertz hater.
There's nobody. I hate Havertz more than I hate the devil, but I would take Havertz over Phil Foden because at least I know he's going to run and he might G up in a big game. Foden is completely useless, and we are not going to remember his track record in big games. In big games.
That's true.
He will disappear.
Against United,
go back to the.
All he knows is to go and make babies. He cannot perform on the field. Well, we know. Oh, congratulations to FIFA. After every bad game,
that's what I say. Like, he has more babies than goals for England, I think.
After every bad game, they'll say, "Oh, he had a kid. There's a lot on his mind. He just had a new baby." So when he has a bad game, watch in 2 weeks now, his wife will be pregnant.
But do you know what I find so crazy is? Because the complicated thing, I'll come to AK, is that so Foden has his own song. Foden has his own song that England fans think of him. And I say, how is it that Palmer doesn't have his song, Saka doesn't have a song. Any of these guys, but for the guy who has literally contributed not as a song. But again, it's the EPL bias. Because do you know what England always do? It's the same thing. Man, look, we see what these guys do week in, week out. Why can't they do what they do? And when they don't perform on the international level, it's always the blame of the manager, because they're like, if he performs like this every week in the Premier League that we watch, they have to be amazing internationally. So if they're not amazing internationally, it can't be their fault. It has to be the manager's fault. That's because you're a freaking moron. It is down to you as a player to adapt. You as a player has to adapt your game to a different game, which is international.
What does Foden do well? People tell me he can dribble. What is the essence of dribbling? To break down opposition. He doesn't dribble. He just hold on to the ball and move backward.
No. Okay. Because my thing. Let's put Foden in his best light. Man City. What does Foden do well at Man City that makes him amazing?
He scores wonder goals from time to time.
Scores wonder goals. Yeah.
He drops the shoulder.
Because my thing is that how many times does he dribble? How many times does he really do something spectacular? Outside of just like a goal here or a half turn here. The guy that's really doing the amazing stuff over 90 minutes, it's either Rodri, it's either KDB, or it's Bernardo Silva. It's a lie. Why was Foden voted player of the season?
I finally figured out what Foden is. You know how we identified Haaland as just a tap-in striker? I don't know how to really form it, but Foden is that for midfielders. I don't really know how to connect.
No. He's a half-turn merchant.
Very limited, but just that one thing, and the system feeds to him, so it makes him look like he's very good. But no, he's just that one thing that he does, merchant, in the midfield. He's a false 10. I've never seen that in my life.
Okay, so
let me speak on Walter.
Okay, let me come to Betsy, then I'll come to you, AK. Betsy. Walter.
Yeah, this guy. So I've got two things to say about him. I don't know. His highlight was probably that offside goal that he was the only one celebrating, because everyone in the stadium knew that it was offside. Like, how can you even?
She said it was offside. Even commentator was like, "Bro."
Yeah, it was wild. It's wild.
That was worse than Morata, man. But yeah, my thing is like what you said a few minutes ago about as soon as he got PFA Player of the Season, that was it. But look at, for example, Germany. What was the first knockout stage for Germany that they won 2-0? I forgot who it was against.
Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark. Yeah. What's his name? Havertz. Havertz is he not the Bundesliga Player of the Season? And he came on the 80-something minute, and no fuss about it. So it's just that England just don't have a strong manager.
No. But I think also basically the issue though is, again, if you're a strong manager, you ignore the noise. But also the issue is media propaganda. There is this push that Foden has to be the guy. Foden has to be the guy. He has to be the guy. And there's just this push that Foden must be the guy. He must be the main guy. And and the English media, they always do this. They always push this false propaganda. And the false propaganda, like, if anybody who watches City, Foden is not City's best player. That is for anybody with eyes know that he's one of their top players, but he is not as good as KDB. He's not as good as Bernardo Silva. He's not as good as Rodri for Man City.
That's only. Oh, sorry, go on. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, just the last one. Yeah. This country, England of Queen Elizabeth and now King Charles, they've always been very good at hiding racism, but now I don't know what's going on. They're not even hiding it anymore, because just before the Euros, you put Saka on all the covers after he came on the 70th minute or something, and then when he says England, they're nowhere to be seen, and that's the moment that you should put him on the covers and stuff. Man, like seriously, yeah, this country is all messed up in everything.
Let me go to AK then to RDS. AK.
Can I go after RDS?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, I told you this yesterday. Phil Foden is a glorified Marco Asensio. At the end of the day, he's a left foot merchant. He's a
So talk about City Foden.
What's the difference? I'm talking about City Foden. What's the difference between City Foden and 16-17 Marco Asensio? What's the difference?
Okay. Let me be fair. I say Foden is a better dribbler than that as Asensio.
Is he?
Like, yes.
Because
Asensio. All Asensio was doing was amazing at shooting. He wasn't a dribbler. So he couldn't beat people. I'm not saying Foden is an amazing dribbler. I'm saying him compared to Asensio, I'd say that at least he has better dribbling into his game. But that's the only thing I can say.
If he could dribble well, he would be able to work on the wing. But we've seen for England and Man City, he can't work on the wing. So how good is he dribbling wise, really? If you're only good in central areas, if you're only good in central areas at holding on to the ball, like your dribbling is not that good because you're not progressing the play whilst dribbling. But Foden, for me, a wing hit the nails on the head, man. Foden, he's overhyped. I have a newfound respect for Pep Guardiola for somehow winning a Premier League title with this guy as the main guy. He's just like, bro, if you're so limited that you can only work in a certain system with certain players around you, and the thing I don't understand is Man City fans called him the replacement to David Silva. Do you know how creative David Silva was? The amount of angles he could find a pass, just an incredible pass out of. He was incredible at that. They were saying he's a Stockport Iniesta. I mean, I'm sorry to all the Barcelona fans who heard the name Stockport Iniesta. They're saying he was a Brazilian dropped off in Manchester. What?
No, this is one of the English faces of the Premier League. Like, he has to play.
Yeah.
Like, he is the face of the Premier League. Like, he has to play. Like you can't not. So, because people want to say it's the media that put pressure on Foden. Yeah, okay, yeah, the media part of that. But I actually think probably the higher up Premier League officials are also probably secretly being like, if you drop Foden, you are causing major damage to our brand, and therefore, if you don't play him, there's going to be murmurings of things or stuff like that. I probably think that's more of a thing now because if you're even just, and I mean, I live in Newcastle, it's a white brand, and I speak to people. I've just spoken to Post and everyone I've spoken to has said Foden was trash. Like, no one says Foden was amazing, awesome. They said this guy didn't do anything. But the thing is that because the Premier League, in particular, pushed this guy, and they have pundits and things around who, again, work with the same people that also push this guy. That's why I'm surprised that, like Gary Neville. I'm like, bro, like, how can you say that Kane is the greatest? Like, Gary?
To watch the rest of this vid, think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace.